Welcome to the Smite Forest Chronicles, brought to you by the change in the weather. It suddenly went from sweaty hot to ice cold. All right, everybody. I'm assuming y'all can hear me. This was the most silent you guys have ever been while waiting to play. I've not experienced this much silence before. Pretty cool.
Your signals were off because we were chatting up a storm.
Well, there you go. It was just me, I guess. Let me pull your guys' levels up a little bit. Say something for me, like, who's your favorite GM?
How do you fail?
How do you what?
How do you fail a mission? Like, do we just all die?
Well, that was one way to fail. No, but if you were trying, if like you have to defeat a boss to get some sort of a gem or whatever, and you don't defeat the boss, right?
Then we die.
Well, no, then you fail, right? Like, so, like, if you, let's just imagine a quest where you had to go secure a document, but you guys bungled it, and so like they escape with the document. You failed that mission. Or let's just imagine you go to like free some prisoners from a goblin cave, and one of the things is you get out undetected, but then Dinjarin wears his armor into the cave and it collapses and all sorts of horrible things, and you end up spending the next year of your life escaping from a goblin cave. That would have been, you would have failed that part of the quest.
Can you imagine if that happened?
I can't imagine.
So that's not in our failed quests log, just to let you know. If that happens, it's not there.
Yeah, let me pull open the map. This should pull all of you onto our current map. And are y'all there?
Yas.
Yes. Although I can't touch any of the... Oh, there we go.
Sorry, I'm here, but something happened with my new Mac, so they're walking me through how to get it back to where I could actually start setting it up.
Fun.
Curtis, your dog doesn't have a name. It's just called Mastiff.
Called Steve. His name's Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, is it Steve?
Salem's got his name.
Steve.
Hold on, I can remedy that. Let me go in and change it to Steve. These are those continuity things. Alright, that's Massive Steve. Go back in edit mode. Goodbye, Mastiff Steve.
And I called him Steve.
Hello, Mastiff Steve. And token name. Steve. Update token. Close. And there's Steve. Huh? Alright. Alright, guys. So, when we were here last, some interesting things were happening. Down to the south, Glory found herself in front of a fairly substantial door with half of the party. She was communicating, I believe, with Salem, the imp, and I need to update Salem's image. I'll do that real quick in a second. But with Salem the imp, and found out there were some things afoot to the north, and insisted the rest of the party head north. She then opened the door to the south and was greeted by a couple of skeletons. It still remains to be seen. She's not quite sure exactly how many foes are behind that door, but she immediately slammed the door shut. To the north... One second. To the north, we have the rest of the party, right? The second half of the group rejoined, made their way around pretty readily, and Tyros opened the door to the east. And as soon as he did so, he met up with a handful of skeletons. It still remains to be seen how many, He also slammed the door shut. We ended our session, and this is where it finds us today. So I think it would make most sense for us to start with the northernmost group and go from there. First off, any questions or comments? Wind's in the east. So you need to say it. I want you to roleplay it. Oh wait, no, they can't even hear you. Are you speaking through your imp?
I'm thinking it. Or I guess I'll speak through Salem. Winds through the east. There's a mist. I don't know how to say it. How does he say it in Mary Poppins? Shit.
I don't know.
Wind in the east. There's a mist coming in. Like something's a brewing and about to begin. I don't know. Keep going.
It's awesome.
Your next character should be a bard.
All right, so I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we were in combat. Throw you guys into combat. And Sarah, you are also in combat. So let's throw you into combat. And then these guys.
Thomas, before we move on, I still have control of Tempe.
Oh, okay. Let me uncontrol Tempe. All right, and I already told you guys about the quest logger, so you guys are all in the that's a big combat list. Let me take and remedy that for you real quick. Okay, so Tempe ownership, configure ownership. Should be default. All right, so Adam, you can still move Tempe, correct?
Let me see.
I still have roll for initiative.
Appears so.
Give me 1 second, guys. Assets, images, avatars, nope, portraits, custom, imp, select file. All right, Sarah, I updated your imp. Salem has a different portrait now. All right, it's also time for us to kill the adventure music. Nothing but pure ambience now. Or ambience, if you will. All right, so what was the issue, David?
I still had the ability to roll for initiative for both Tempe and myself in the combat tracker.
But also, Steve shouldn't be in the combat tracker. He died a while back.
Oh, you didn't call him back out, right?
No, I didn't use a spell slot to call him.
There he is. Goodbye, Steve. We hardly knew ye. Sorry, this was part of the transition issues. All right, so everybody, I need you guys all to roll for initiative.
Oh, it also looks like I have Alexandria's still, because I can roll her initiative.
All right, let's not roll on it for her. Anyone else? Let's see here. Ownership. For Alexandria. Was anyone else running anyone? So like let's just get this out of the way. Was anyone else running anyone last time?
I was rolling stuff.
Okay, let me.
But I'm not seeing.
Hold on, let me just check that ownership, and then yeah, let me turn you off because Stefano is here.
Yep, I rolled.
Yep, all good. All right, everyone rolled except for Salem.
Oh god, I'm trying to remember how to do everything again. So bear with me.
On the combat tracker, there's little dice. You just click that. There it is.
What's that mean?
I think. Well, let's see where he landed. Is that a 1? That's a 1.
Oh, that's a 1.
It's a 1. Nice work.
On
It's a
mine,
cool-
it's a dagger.
It is a dagger. It's a very cool one. I think that means basically fumble, right? In the other world. Which, by the way, the next time we play, we will have our crit and fumble tables instituted. I'm in the process of putting those in play, so a lot of fun. They're going to be kind of cool because they come with potentially cards. So some things that you land on, you might get a card, like a tarot card, that says something interesting. All right. We are going to now begin combat. All right. So, up first, and you guys now should see that combat timer, right?
Yes.
So we have a skeleton. Is it visible? Yes. So, he saw that door open up, and you just sort of hear.
I thought we were starting with the north.
We are in the north. Some clattering. And then he ends his turn. And Glory, as you stand there, you hear something thumping on the door, jiggling the handle. Tempe, it is your turn, my friend. Oh, and by the way, we didn't do that. We forgot to do the whole what's your strategy? So take a second. What is your guys' strategy? How are you going to play this? You have a battle going on to the south, and you know of that because of Salem. You have a battle going on to the north.
Do we need to split forces here and someone help out Glory? As Salem says, the mist is closing on her.
We don't know. You guys don't know that something's happened down here. All that you know is that Salem was telling Tyros that he shouldn't be so quick to judge Glory. Although now I'm in a bit of a pickle. My original plan was to just send a spell in, when someone's in a bathroom and you chuck a bouncy ball in and then close the door and then the bouncy ball goes and it hits whoever kind of thing. That's kind of was my plan. But now I'm wondering if I should just book it to you guys, hightail it towards you guys and be like, I fucked up. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. I might try to fight them all myself.
I was also going to say, and I think our door was open and we were able to see down in that hallway.
Yeah,
and
no, David closed it before the end of the battle.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So there's a ton of skeletons in that door or in that hallway.
Okay, I'm running out of time. I need to.
I'm not going to enforce it this time, Adam. That was my fault.
Chain for my longbow. How do I do that?
What you want to swap out weapons?
Yeah.
All right. So do you have the HUD? The HUD going? So two little.
It's up. I can see my spike chain. I just don't know how to put it.
So you drag. So go to your inventory and you drag You have a the left side is the primary action. The right side is the bonus action. Drag a weapon to each of those slots down above your little portrait down there, and then that's how you switch. You just click there. There's three builds, right? And you just click the build you want to use. So I can set your first one up if you want. Just for you have for your first build you have your bow. I'll throw your spike chain into the second just to show you how to do it. So I just drug it in there. Now you see it's there.
So I was able to find my spike chain. I just can't drag it anywhere.
You can't drag it into. You should be able to drag the word spike chain, the words, into that little thing.
Uh-huh.
Does that not work for you?
No, I mean I can click on spike chain and it opens up my.
Yeah, I was having the same issues last week too, where I couldn't drag things into the HUD.
Oh, that's very weird. Okay, so why don't we do this real quick? So first off, you know that Tempe, is your scale mail, was it supposed to be equipped when I built out your character?
Mm-hmm.
All right, it was not. It is now equipped.
Cool.
Your spike chain is also equipped. Your longbow is equipped. You have unarmed strike, right? Which is, I think, that. What do you want to be your secondary? So you have a bow, and what's your secondary? Do you have bonus actions?
Like chain. Yeah, I have bonus actions.
So what are your bonus? So like
attack.
that left one or the right one is a bonus action. So what do you want to use it? What can you do as a bonus action?
I can just do a bonus attack when I attack on my first action.
Oh, okay, so it's the same weapon twice, like this. And you always have unarmed strike. Okay, so now you'll see, so now on your little HUD down at the bottom, you see those 3 little sets. You have bow, spike chain, and 2 fists. Click one of them. Like click the middle one. And it should change your build.
I don't see what you're talking about. Sorry.
Okay, so down at the bottom of your screen, do you have that big the picture of your character with all the actions you can take?
I have the picture. Yeah.
And then there's some like a bunch of blue dots to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so above your picture, you should see little bitty icons. So it'll say Tempe, and then above that it says Save Skills Tools, and above that there's like 6 icons.
There's 3 different chunks of 2. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Only the first one has a bow.
Yeah. So the first one is it's basically primary action, reaction. Then the left one is primary, right? So you have 3 sets. So click if you click the chains just to see what happens.
Gotcha. Cool.
And
I can toggle it now.
Okay, yeah. So that'll equip you, right? It'll equip those things. So now you see, and it also changes the rest of those cards, right, to be spike chains instead of whatever. That's how you switch that's an easy way to switch your stuff. Otherwise, you just open your character sheet and click on the stuff and take action from there. That's the other way to do it.
Okay.
I
I will just ready myself, I would assume.
All right.
So
You are
click
ready. All right, so you're ready,
Awesome.
and the criteria is if something comes through the door, or what is your criteria?
Yeah, I'll just be ready to smack it with my chain.
Awesome. All right.
Skeleton.
Skeleton comes up. You guys hear some clattering behind the way, but this skeleton doesn't sound like it's getting closer. You just hear clattering. All right, and it ends its turn. All right, now down to the south, we have Glory standing in a hallway all alone, and she hears skeletons sort of thumping against the door, like rattling the lock. Glory, you're pretty convinced that that what you saw is going to come through that door any second.
Okay.
So
one, I want to ready myself because I don't know if I can. I think I can run faster than them, so maybe I just start running. And,
you cannot
prepare.
Well, why don't you roll a
can't.
nature check? Roll a nature check. I'll tell you what you know about skeletons.
I don't. Okay, hold on. Oh yeah, that's right. There's a little arrow here, and then nature. Normal. Oh god.
Oh, it's good enough. You got 11.
I'm 11.
Yeah. So you know yourself, right? You know that you can move around 30 feet a turn, right? But you also know that skeletons used to be a creature like you, and they can also move 30 feet a turn, right? They're not lumbering zombies that move half the speed, right? So that's fun. What else do you know? These guys can attack with both a short sword and a short bow. So even if you were to outrun them, they have a ranged weapon, right? Now, you also sort of intuitively know that these hallways are round, so that might work to your advantage, right? And I will not enforce your timer at this point. What else? You know that just like you, a skeleton could dash as its action. So it could move twice the distance, but not as its action. So it could not only overcome you, it could move right past you. So, yeah, outrunning these skeletons is sort of a loss leader, right? And you know they're right on the other side of the door, so they're already within 10 feet of you.
Okay. So what I want to do is I want to take like a little step back, I don't want to take a step back. What I want to do is put all my weight on the door. And what I'm going to do is kind of like, I want to shoot a spell in there and hit one of the skeletons and I can't find this anywhere, but I have something that will make my enemy what I want it to do, which is an attack the other skeletons, so that they're kind of like distracted within themselves of one of their kind attacking them. But I can't find it.
I don't see any. Look at the screenshots from Fantasy Grounds. I transitioned everything that you had over. So I don't know. You had Mage Hand. You have Thaumaturgy, which gives a booming voice and stuff. You have Wall of Fire. I
know. But I know last week, if we would listen to the recording, I said, I have this thing where I can make it attack whoever I can turn something to attack whatever I want. And now I can't find it.
Yeah, well, look at open up the PDF for your character from Fantasy Grounds, because unless I missed a spell.
No, I don't. It doesn't matter.
No, it does matter.
I'm just, I don't know, because I was also running Stefanos, so maybe I got confused and was looking at Stefanos stuff.
Oh, could have been her, yeah.
So I don't know. Anyways, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of like, I want to put a lot of my weight on the door, but what I want to do is kind of like peek it in, stick a spell in, and then slam the door again. So like try to like.
That'll be if you're gonna open the door, right? That's gonna be an action. That's gonna be an action. I guess I can give it to you as a bonus action, but I'm not gonna give you 2 bonus actions. Yeah. So look, you're standing. There's a door shut here, right? You need to do a thing, right? Opening the door is doing a thing. That's an action, right? But I was saying I could give it to you as a bonus action, but I'm not going to give you open the door, cast a spell, shut the door. Like, that's too many actions for one turn.
Okay. Well, right. So then let me ask you this then. With my weight on the door, can the skeletons push it open?
You have no way of knowing that.
I have no way of knowing that.
All you can do is you can you know that the door opens in, right? Because you pushed it in earlier, right? So you know it opens in towards that room, not out into the hallway, right? I mean, that would that would violate OSHA standards. So what you're doing is you can't lean up against there. You're holding the doorknob, right? So that they can't pull it open.
Okay, then
I do want to point out, in case you hadn't considered this, just as a little gimme, since this is an interesting situation. You know, when you were doing your roll to understand skeletons, you know how far they move. You also know that going north or going south, you could dip around the corner and try to hide.
Well, that's what my original plan was, but then you were like, "That's not a good idea."
No, you said you were going to run. You were going to run, and you said that because they couldn't move as fast as you. And I pointed out they absolutely can move as fast as you. I'm not going to say that this is going to be effective. I'm just saying that's something you can consider.
Okay. Well, anyways, I think what I want to do is I want to do a Mage Hand, which is a cantrip of mine. It's a spectral floating hand that appears within range. Wait, no, sorry, not that. I'm sorry. I'm struggling today. Because I wanted to kind of I want to create a minor wonder, but like because I have like this crackling, you manifest a minor wonder, assign supernatural power within range, you create one of the following magical effects. So I want to do that, but I want to make it so that it attracts their attention a different way. right?
Okay, so I gotta look at the details. You mentioned wonder. You create one of all I mentioned. So as normal, you catch flames of flicker, dim, rumble. Okay, but the problem is that you have to. I think for this to work, you have to be able to identify where you want this to manifest. And the door is closed.
I want to manifest it like, oh, I can't do it through the door.
I don't. So let me here's my ruling on this. Unless we find otherwise, and actually, I want to hear the wisdom of the crowd. My assumption is that you've opened the door. You have a mental awareness of what's in that room, so you could, from memory, manifest something. Now, in another scenario where you hadn't seen into the room, I wouldn't let you do this, right? Or through a wall, I wouldn't let you do it through a wall. But I'm gonna let you have this one and let you do that.
Okay, cool.
All right.
That's what I want to do.
All right.
That was my.
So I'm going to temporarily open the door, so you can see what your mind remembers. Does that make sense?
Oh. Well, there's water, and then there's 4 coffins.
Yeah, but you have to be able to place your spell.
Oh, I want to put it right above, like, the water, kind of like at the edge of where the stairs are, so that they all kind of focus their attention. My intent is that they focus their attention on that, and then my plan is to open the doors, hoping that they, moved their attention to that, and then I'll do my bone staff. So that's my plan, or another like fire spell if I can.
Cool. So just to give you you guys a visual, I just shared the image.
Fantastic.
Ooh, very cool.
Yeah. I'll put it in the chat.
Midjourney?
There, it's also in the chat, just so you know. There you go. Ta-da.
Thank you.
Thank you, Midjourney.
For bearing.
All right, so you're in this pool. So, like, what you remember, right, is that, it would be completely dark here, but the room sort of glows with an eerie blue. There's 4 tombs flanking the walls, 2 on each side. There's nothing special about them. There was nothing fancy, no symbols, no etchings that you could see from the hallway. Just, cobwebs and dust, they tell a story of a long forgotten soul, right? Sort of looking across that open area from where you're standing in the door, you see a pool of some sort. The ceiling arcs up roughly about 50 feet from the walls. This looks, my first typo. This looks like it might be more of a natural opening than anything made by the hands of man. After about 20 feet, the floor transitions to a few stairs down and is motionless. It's glass-like. It seems deep, but it's hard to say how deep because you never made it past the doorway. Right? And then I mentioned, from both sides, skeletons explode from the once still tombs. Dust and debris fill the air around them. And that's sort of where you were. So that's what you remember. Right, the door is open, but this is just this is your mind, right? Just to be clear, just want to make sure that you're aware that this is not the door's not really open. This is what you're remembering. So now you need to cast your spell and place it.
Okay. So I thought I did, but I did not.
Did you click it?
I did. It's right above your picture.
Right above my picture. What do you mean my picture?
You sent a picture of the skeletons in the blue cave, and I did thaumaturgy, whatever.
Oh, did it not ask you where to place it?
No, I just clicked it because when I click it, I'm trying to scroll inside the dialogue that comes out, but it won't let me. Can you scroll it bigger? I clicked it.
The
thermology.
That spell doesn't necessarily have a casting. We'll have to imagine because it's not like some of the other ones I've cast on the other game, Thomas, where it actually has a circular placement.
Okay. I thought you would place where this wonder happened.
Yeah, it's not because there's different things you could change your own appearance. You could do a light, so it has different things. So it's not like casting sleep where you say like I want sleep in this radius here. So it's a different type of spell than that. So
okay,
we'll have to draw on there where she wanted it to be.
Are you guys allowed to draw on the
Yeah,
canvas?
so-
That's something I didn't know yet.
Let's see. I'll let you know.
Just draw like a little
2
circle.
seconds.
Like you do a little circle.
Oh, I do a square instead. Do you see it?
I do.
Okay,
I
cool.
do. So that's where you want it?
No. Well, yes, sure.
No, it
Well,
matters.
No, I want it. Well, because I forgot
Okay.
how.
How about this? Let me take over drawing. Let me get rid of this one. Let me get rid of this one. And you wanted it where? Just describe it.
I can. Hold on. Just give me 2 seconds. Right here.
Perfect.
In between that. There.
All right. So you got that. So that's where you want it. And this is going to do what?
You create an instantaneous sound that originates from a point of your choice within range, such as a rumble of thunder, the cry of a raven, or an ominous whisper. So I'm gonna do I'm gonna have it sound like my voice, like someone's talking.
Okay.
So it like
And-
grabs it if they're interested because it's like something that they want to attack.
All right. So there's this little pseudo-transparent thing right here. Oops, my bad. Let me move it back. And it emanates a sound, which I think we will use this to represent that. I'm still learning the tool, guys.
But it has to-
It won't take me that long.
Loud.
What's that?
Okay. I want it to be a loud noise that sounds like realistic and threatening, so that they can hear it and that they are interested in it. So like the sound of armor coming towards them and voices, war cries and stuff like that.
All right. Coming from sort of the pool, right? Is this sound of, you said like sort of war cry, right? And you see all of the skeletons. There's a whole bunch of those little boxes everywhere. You do see the skeletons all sort of flip. They can't move because it's not their turn, but you see them sort of look at where the sound is coming from, right? So they kind of do that.
Exactly.
Right, but that did something else though that you probably didn't intend, which is you made this giant sound and it awoke something deep in the pool. Enter the Chul. So this, just as you thought, you might have had the upper hand here for a second, right? The pool, once mostly still, begins to boil and roll, and after a few moments, it goes calm, right? As you do this, you hear, ooh, I could do a voice. Wait, where's my skeleton?
Foolish mortal! You're once forgiven. You'll find no forgiveness in this baptismal pool.
And right after that, this water erupts with foam and mist, and you don't see it at first. It's obscured by the wall of pool shooting up towards the ceiling. But yeah, there it is. The first thing you see is a giant claw, and then what appears to be tentacles. And then, oh, the gods above. So there you are. What you've now come across is, oops. Send it to chat. Show to all. A Chul. So you've made a new friend, Glory. You've made a new friend.
Is it
Except your DM completely screwed up. You hear all of that. You have no idea what's on the other side of that wall, because I just remembered the door is actually closed. So you hear all of that.
Well, I'm gonna
in your
take my
mind's eye, it sounds horrible,
now.
right? You hear clack, 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 clack of the claws, and the sort of slurpy, slidey sounds of tentacles and splashing water. But you do hear the skeleton, shout through the door to you that you're a foolish mortal. Dang, you guys got to call me on my shit. So you have all your move. You've taken your action. You have all your movement left.
Okay, I'm gonna move. Crap. Ignore that.
You're gonna draw a circle. You have to choose. You have to
Nope,
choose
I'm not.
the guy on the upper thing again.
Yeah, no, I did. Okay, so I don't know how far this is, but I'm gonna go around the corner here.
That's
and try
doable. You have another 5 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna go inside.
No, you're not. That's too far.
No, not.
Nope. You
And
can
I'm
go.
just gonna.
I'll put you where you can go. Like this
And-
is the closest you can get. Oops. The closest you can get to that door is right there. You literally had enough movement to make
Yeah,
it.
but I
want to
be like up against the wall.
All right. So I'll give you. Let me hold shift down. I'll put you smack up. Like you're hugging the wall with your back, right? Like. There you go.
I definitely tell Salem to tell the group like there's some like holy shit, mayday, mayday. This shit's going down. Help, help, help.
All right.
That's it.
Alexandria, you are up.
All right. Well, I'm gonna head over to Glory slowly but surely.
You're gonna do what?
I'm gonna head over in the direction of Glory, the skeletons.
All right, because Gloria, you had communicated that through the imp earlier, right? Just want to make sure that that was a real thing and it wasn't just a discussion. Cool.
Yes.
And I'm correct in thinking that I'm gonna have to go clockwise.
No, you can go whatever direction you want, but you'd have to go through that. Like you know that the round hallways terminate right to the south of you. You know you can go through that door, and you knew there was another door, and actually that door is open. My bad.
The door to my left. My vision is very limited because I don't have dark vision.
Oh no, but you had a torch. Is your torch out?
It illuminates a very limited area of the map.
There you go. I just put your torch. I had your torch turned off. So yeah, through that door you can see that there is another door that you have not went through, and you could go through there.
Yeah, sure. I'm nothing if not adventurous. Is the doorway high? Is the doorway high enough for me to fly through?
No, none of this is high enough for you to fly through. So the rest of your party does see you sort of heading to the west.
Yeah, we feel a little scattered here. Like there's skeletons through this door, and I'm seeing Alexandria now leave the other way again. Where are we going to start attacking first, or who do we?
Okay. I say, tell me where to go. Point me in a direction, and I'll go there.
Right now, I can tell you from what we've seen so far, we hear skeletons on the other side of the door, but nothing's tried to go through this door yet. So we may be safe in assuming that no one can get through this door, and we can go down and help Glory first.
So by the way, David, I will tell you that your passive intelligence, you know that skeletons can open doors. Right, like the door was unlocked, right? So like to think that an unlocked door is going to stop a creature from going through it is probably not something your character would do.
No, but we've had 3 skeletons just sort of rattling around, and no one's gone through the door yet. That was just sort of my assumption.
Well, just to be clear, they've not had a turn yet to get close enough to the door. So.
Oh, they haven't been able to.
Yeah, same with down at Glory's side, right? Like they haven't had their turns yet.
Okay. It's the door to the right, right?
That is a door to the right. Yes, there is a door to the right and a door to the left.
All right, let's do it.
Are you going through the door? I think you can click it yourself, if I'm not mistaken. There you are.
I see it.
Yeah. So, the door opens to a long room with coffins placed on slots of sorts, lining the right wall. Of course, there is more darkness and it's creepy. You see a bit of light flickering along the left wall. It seems that there are some stairs leading to an adjacent room or space or something. It's hard to say without getting a little bit closer. Right? Now, you've already woken the skeletons.
As was my intention.
Well, David woke them. Tyrose woke them up. He opened up the door and stuck his head. And he's like, "What's up?" And then they all like, "Well, hey." All right, so you are face to face with a skeleton.
Did you name one of the skeletons cameraman?
No, cameraman is the cameraman. Oh, that's a little distracting. Let me move his mouse. Cameraman is there's a player who quite honestly, controls the camera. There. Cameraman should be gone now. Wow. So it put all sorts of information about that dagger every time it uses it. That's a pretty mid-journey picture, huh, guys? Huh? Anyone?
Nice.
All right. While I'm at it, I also want to expend one of my key points to do. Okay, well, I was trying to stun the skeleton and I failed, but you can't win them all.
You cannot.
You can't win them all.
But you did do some serious damage to this skeleton.
Woo!
So you got that going for you.
All right, these guys are punks. I shout through the door. No problem.
And Tyros, you hear her shout, "These guys are punks." And what you see through this doorway is a giant part of the floor covered in blood.
Ah, lovely. So seeing Alexandria dash into combat, I'm going to come in as well to help out. And where's my target? I'm going to target this skeleton here, and I have a cantrip that is a firebolt.
Cool. And you do hit. And what a lovely animation, am I right? Oh, wow. Instant death.
Yes.
That was fast. That will become, by the way, a lootable icon. When you get close enough to it, you'll be able to double click it. All right, you still have some movement left. You went 5, 10, 15 feet.
Yes. So with that, I have a sentinel attack as well. So I'm going to move. Why can't I move him?
You right-click on the map to move it and drag with your right button. Or if you're on a Mac, you push both fingers down and move it around.
Okay, so I'm going to come beside the skeleton so that if he moves, I have a sentinel attack, and I can, so if he tries to disengage, I can hit him with a melee.
Awesome.
And I will end my turn.
Your turn is ended, and this brings us to Stephanos.
Okay. I'm gonna move into the room that Malon is in. I mean, Alexandria.
Right, so you guys see Stephanos sort of creeping around, pops into the doorway. You know, you're only a healer as a side hustle, so the just sheer amount of blood all over the floor, right, doesn't even faze you.
Make one more movement in here to get out of the. Sorry, I'm learning how to control with my.
It's okay.
keyboard.
You can. One of the nicest ways to control this with the arrows on your keyboard, up, down, left, right, or you can push up and right to go at an angle, and down and left to go at an angle. Right, so you don't have to do serpentine.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of cool. And I wanted to also remind you guys, because you guys sometimes forget this, both Tyros and Dinjarin, you do have inspiration points.
I'm gonna take an attack on skeleton.
Awesome.
Does inspiration allow us to re-roll a bad roll, or what does it do?
Yeah, it allows you to, you use it up, but you can re-roll a roll.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, this is my first time playing on this platform, so.
Oh, it's totally okay. Okay, so so are you going to be targeting someone? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I'm targeting skeleton. I think I have him targeted.
Oh yeah, so you right click and click that little target icon, right? And ignore the timer this round. Next round we'll enforce it, but this round we will not because you guys are just learning. Hey, for those of you who haven't went yet, make sure you go into your characters, and if you have armor, make sure your stuff's equipped, right? Like armor, shields, whatever you want to have equipped, make sure that's equipped. You click the little shield on the line item for that, because I just noticed, like for Stefanos, you didn't have your stuff equipped. I went ahead and did it for you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, can I use this crossbow expert attack? When you use the attack action and attack with a one-handed weapon, you can use a bonus action to attack. Oh, my map just moved without me moving.
Yeah, I'm going to turn that option off. It's when someone whispers, it scrolls to them.
Oh, okay.
I'll turn that off now, actually. So you were saying?
I'm trying to use this crossbow expert attack. It's in my bonus feature.
Okay, so bonus feature, use feature, crossbow expert attack. When you use an attack action and attack with a one-handed weapon, you can use a bonus action to attack with the crossbow you were holding. So basically, you'd have to use a one-handed weapon. So you have, for one-handed weapons, you have you don't have any one-handed weapons right now.
Okay.
So one of your colleagues at some point should maybe give you one if they have an extra one-handed weapon, right? Like a short sword or whatever. You don't have a short sword, right? No. Wait, a mace? A mace is one-handed, right?
A mace is one-handed, I think.
Okay, yeah. So you'd have to get close enough to use your mace, and then if you do that, then you can use your crossbow. Now the key would be, like, you can't use your crossbow when you can't shoot someone that you're right next to. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Then I would just use my arrow. But how do I actually access those weapons again?
Okay, so I created a build for you below while you were talking. Look at the little... Okay, so do you have the HUD up at the bottom of the screen?
Yes.
Okay. In that HUD, above your portrait, there's a crossbow, a little icon with a crossbow, one with a mace, and then one with a staff, right? The crossbow is... Yeah.
In little boxes.
Yeah, in those little boxes, right?
I don't actually see the imagery. They're empty boxes.
Really? See the little swords on the left? Close it and up on your left-hand toolbar, right? The two little cross swords. Close it and open it again and see if you see it then.
Okay. Now I see it.
Okay, just so you guys know, it looks like you have to close it and open it to reload and see changes that someone else makes to your stuff. So right now your crossbow selected, right? Which means down in the bottom in that HUD, you see there's a section called main actions, there's bonus, there's free, there's reaction, and pass, right? You're probably not going to pass. But under your main action, it says you can click crossbow, right? Now to target somebody, you have to right click over them and target it. Who did you target?
Skeleton.
All right, so unfortunately, I need you to roll, you shot through Melon.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even see her.
Yeah, so that's a problem. And HP updated. So you did 8 points of damage. So Melon, I'm going to give you 4 points of damage on that because the arrow basically went through your side and hit the skeleton. So let me do that.
It's got a flesh wound.
Yeah,
it's
she's
like the
feathery.
worst time to be learning a platform when we're dying.
No, you're all good. This is good learning. But that's a rule just for all of you. That's a rule from we've always had, right? So you have to have line of sight. So no problem, no harm, no foul. Just a mere 4 points of damage. Not a big deal. And you took that skeleton down a little farther, so maybe it was worth it. In a good action movie, the hero sometimes makes the choice to shoot through the hostage, right, to kill the bad guy. So there you are. You still have movement left. Oh wait, 5, 10. Nope, you're out of movement. So you need to end your turn. So you hit the little right, you hit like the next turn button at the bottom of that combat tracker, and that ends your turn. And it's all good, right? Yeah.
I just noticed that Stefanos had a crit on her attack roll, but we haven't been getting crit bonuses because Alexandria had a crit as well on her attack.
Stefanos rolled a 20.
True,
So
I
we
did.
don't. So right now, I remember I said that we don't have the critical rolls enabled yet.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that'll come.
Yeah,
That'll
okay.
come soon.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I forgot you mentioned that.
Yeah, no, it's all good. All right, so you guys see this skeleton. The people that are in the room, you sort of see the skeleton. Let me do measurements. How do you do measurements? I'm trying to remember. Measure 15. He can go 30. All right, so bleep bloop. The skeleton heads towards these stairs, which is interesting because you would have expected the skeleton to head right to the battle, but it's sort of heading down these stairs. So, Gloria, you hear the door to the hallway burst open. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
So this is what I don't understand about the skeletons, though. They
Sure.
all turned their head to look at the sound. So
Yeah.
technically, that should be their turn.
Yeah, if only a giant hideous monster hadn't burst from the pool to sort of send them the signal like, oh, so they heard a sound, they turned around, this thing burst out of the pool. So the mental math was, oh, that thing made the sound.
No, what I mean is like if I can't hold the door, open the door and shoot, if I can't like have the door open and shoot at the same time, then a skeleton can't move its head, look back, and
Sure
that
can.
not be its turn.
No, turning your head is a free action. So they all looked at the sound, right? And that thing burst from the pool. And for the action, this skeleton kicks the door open and ran down the hallway towards where he last saw you.
Cool. Love it.
So you're wrong.
He didn't see me in the hallway. He didn't see. Which direction did he go?
Well, he
didn't know which. He doesn't know which direction I was in.
Yeah. So there's gonna be there's some skeletons, and some are gonna go left, and some are gonna go right, and they're gonna look for you.
Got it. Thanks for that clarity.
All right, Dinjarin.
Alright, I'm gonna not be able to grab my character for some reason.
Do you have the icon and the selector box checked in the upper left?
That's why, yeah.
I do that all the time.
Yeah,
I'm like,
gonna
why
move
is
up.
this not working?
I'm gonna move up to the door. I didn't hurdle over Tempe, by the way.
Good.
And I guess how much movement do I have left? Okay, I'll actually move in to like right here,
Okay.
and then I am just gonna ready my myself to attack with my spike chain if any of these skeletons get close, because I don't want to hit anybody.
All right. Now, so you have your helmet equipped, correct?
Yes, I do. So if any of them come within 20 feet of me, they have to roll on their next turn wisdom saving throw. Otherwise,
Okay.
be afraid and have to move away.
So that's if they move towards you, right? But I think we established that if they were already within 20 feet, that's not a thing, correct?
So it just says putting on the helmet, any hostile creature to you that starts its turn within 20 feet of you must make a DC 18. So
All right. So he'll have to on that skeleton's turn, it will have to make a DC 18.
yeah, so any creature that starts its turn within 20 feet will have to.
Perfect.
And that's it for me.
Awesome. End thy turn. So, while all this is going on, you guys are being very mindful. Like that skeleton headed down. One skeleton headed down the stairs, and another skeleton is heading that way. So you're kind of wondering what's down those stairs. Next skeleton. You hear more movement in the hallway, Glory. The good news is this one sounds like it's getting a little quieter. So it's moving away from you. The skeleton moves here into the stairway. And it's as if you're getting the feeling, you guys, that this skeleton's protecting something. And Tyros, you see this skeleton raise its short bow, and you're like, oh, holy crap, I'd almost forgotten. These guys are ranged fighters. But it misses. You see this arrow fly right past you, and Stephanos, you see it fly right past you and embed itself in the wall. Ends its turn. Alexandria being right in front of and facing the skeleton. Oop, here we go, this guy. Comes upon you with his sword. Oh, I gotta do its turn, hold on. I may have to back this out. Did that miss?
That was so cool. I could see the animation of the arrow or the bolt being shot towards me.
So he has to roll a what now, Curtis? A DC
18. He has to beat a wisdom of. Oh, let me make sure it's wisdom.
I hope not. He has a -1.
Sorry, I love your picture, but all the information is below your picture, and it takes forever for your picture to load, so it doesn't let me scroll.
My picture?
DC 18 wisdom saving throw.
All right, so here we go. Public roll. What picture are you talking about?
The giant helmet picture. That's it with the.
Oh, would you guys prefer if I moved those to the bottom?
Yeah, because it's like when I scroll, it starts loading the picture, and I have to wait for it to load to get to the information. So I was like,
Got it.
So he failed.
Okay, so I rolled a wisdom. Where's it at? 16.
Yeah, he had to beat an 18, so that means he is frightened until the start of its next turn, which then he would have to roll again. And he's frightened. He has disadvantage on attack rolls as well as any saving rolls, I believe.
All right, so Alexandria, I'm going to give you back some of your hit points. Boom. There you go. That ends his turn. Oh wait, he has to move away from you, right? Was that the?
No, he will not move closer to me.
He won't move closer. Okay,
yeah,
but he is frightened and he attacks with disadvantage. That's right.
Yeah. So he.
All right.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. This is Salem's turn. Salem is in a different.
Sorry, did the skeleton?
Go ahead.
Did the skeleton make an attack on Alexandria?
I undid it because of the I undid the damage because of what the disadvantage roll.
Okay, but he did do an attack, did he not?
He did, but I reversed it.
Okay, because you reversed it. Oh, okay, I was gonna say if he did do an attack, I have the sentinel attack. So if he makes if he attacks a target other than me, I can use a reaction and make a melee attack on him.
Oh, well then you can make a melee attack on him. Although, is anyone else marveling at the really cool frightened animation on that skeleton?
Totally, all of the little skulls floating around, it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm like, that's pretty badass.
They look like the mask from the movie Scream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to do. Oh, here we go. Okay. So the only reason I asked is that you said you took it back. So I'm just asking, like, did he actually not attack, or did he do an attack and it didn't, and he missed?
He did an attack and it hit.
Oh, okay.
Right, but because I screwed up, I just undid the damage. But the attack still counted. So you are kicked in. Yeah, that was called drinking, eating your own cake, I guess is what I did. I made a bad cake and I had to eat it.
Okay, so with the sentinel attack then,
Right, so you can just do a melee. So target the skeleton, do a melee.
Oh, that's right. I need to target him.
All that for nothing.
All that for nothing.
You badly missed. A swing and a miss. All right, so it's Salem's turn. You guys, and then my brain
Salem is also invisible.
Yeah, Salem's invisible. It can move around invisible. It's small enough, unlike Alexandria, to fly. But you can move your familiar, but you have to choose each round whether either you take an action or Salem does. Remember, that was the deal.
Yeah, so Salem's just gonna chill right now. He's invisible. I originally was going to have him go in and do some poison, but it looks like you guys got it covered. He's kind of assessing the situation and like, all right, how many against one? You're fine.
Salem's like, whatevs to these guys. Cool.
Also, I can't do my next turn because Salem isn't a character. He's like, I can't control him. So
all right, just tell me when you're ready and I'll turn it.
I'm done.
All right. Oop. I just made that same mistake where I didn't have the selector going. Next turn is the skeleton's turn. So from within that room, you hear, Glory, you hear just yet another skeleton sort of making its way. And this one just sort of stops in the doorway. And I believe that's the last. Everyone, guess what? It is time to roll for initiative. So let me reset initiative.
Really
Everyone,
quickly,
please roll.
I thought Salem and Glory could have different, I thought that they could both do actions. I thought that's what we agreed upon. Because they're two different entities.
I thought we were agreed that they could both. It used to be that you could either run one or the other. I thought the agreement as a familiar was that you could both move, but only one primary action is being taken, because you're not running you're running that sort of as a proxy,
okay.
not as yourself.
You're right. Okay.
All right, we just need Salem and Glory. Look at all these dice flying around. Holy smokes! I do love my dice, you guys. I spent like an hour trying to find just the perfect dice for me. All right. So we head to the top of the round. Wait, how do I get this to the... Oh, there, next round. There it is. All right, so this brings us to the top. So congratulations on your stellar initiative roll there, Mr. Dinjarin. You are up first.
All right. Let's see if this works, because last time we had problems with it. I'm going to get within 10 feet of the skeleton here, just kind of staying along that wall.
And if he had a face, he would look mortified right now.
And then I'm going to use my spiked chain, and I am going to call the shot, but I am going to basically try to wrap the chain around, I guess, the neck, and then pull and rip the head off.
All right.
Or at least make damage. So
Tyros, you sort of like see what Dinjarin's trying to do, and you think to yourself, like,
press Command F5 now to turn it off.
Sorry, my new Mac finally got to where I could continue.
Oh, well, tell it to shut up. I'm like, who's talking? Tyros, as you see Dinjarin getting ready to make this sort of big, hero move, you look at just how hurt this skeleton is, and you're like, seems a little overkill. But that's sort of Dinjarin's style. All right, so let's see all of these things happen. So because you're doing a called shot, I believe that's with disadvantage, right?
Yeah, but it's not letting me click on things for my character for some reason.
What do you mean?
So I'm trying to click the dice button. I've been clicking it, but nothing is coming up.
What is the dice button?
So the dice button under my character sheet where it says spike chains, because I don't have it in the HUD. It's worked in the other games, but right now
why is it not in the HUD?
because I'm playing off the character sheet.
Oh, okay. Then I don't know how to help you with this one then. So you're in the spiked chain, and I see a dice to the left, and that doesn't work.
Yeah, I've been clicking it for like the last 10, 15 seconds, and nothing pops up.
It might be because let me push this into the HUD just for giggles.
Like none of them. I just clicked on my mall, which is in the HUD, and that didn't do anything either. Like none of them seem to be working.
And you have. Is it saying you're too far away?
No, it's not even. Nothing is even coming up.
So can I I'm going to try and click and see if I can even click it. And
Okay.
you were trying to do the spike chain, right?
Yeah.
All right, so it opened. I click it. Wait, and it just rolled.
Yeah.
It didn't ask me anything.
I didn't even get the pop-up like you normally do.
Well, anyway, you look at it, your spike chain decimated the skeleton. But it should have asked if we wanted to do it with disadvantage and all that stuff.
That's weird because I don't even see that I did anything in the chat window.
Does anyone else see it? But you guys do see a dead skeleton, right?
Yeah. The only thing that came up is that it just said the skeleton is unconscious. So
Yeah,
dead.
I don't see a skeleton, but I still see the frightened symbol floating around.
Let's see. I guess it's deadly frightened. Let me and I'm going to remove that. It's no longer frightened because it is dead. And now if you double click it, it's going to bring up the loot screen instead of the death screen.
I don't see anything there. So last time this happened, I'm going to end my turn. Hopefully that'll work, but because that's the end of my turn last time, and then I'm going to try to log out and log back in because that's what I had to do last time.
Oh, weird. I wonder what's going on. Tyros, you're up.
I am.
So across, so toward the stairs, you see two additional skeletons, just beyond the corpses. Three additional skeletons, and you know that one went down the stairs.
All right, so I'm going to target the skeleton that is closest to the stairs because I see them all going down, and I'm going to use my firebolt again.
Oh, a crit. So that was a one-hit kill. Pretty insane.
Yes.
And that applied crit damage this time.
It did. Saw that.
Wonder what the difference was.
Don't know.
You have all of your movement left. Not anymore. You ended your turn.
Oh, sorry, I just ended my turn.
Yeah.
That's
all right.
okay.
So
I'm fine to stay where I am.
So this other skeleton. So this skeleton is going to target you and attack with its bow. Oh, bad day for the skeleton. Misses. And then it jets down the stairs for its movement. And ends its turn. And the next one the next skeleton, you just sort of hear rattling around down there. This brings us back to Salem.
So I thought that we just combined into like the same, you know what I mean? Like if Salem rolls a higher roll, then I go up to that roll.
No, we changed that when we moved from Fantasy Grounds. Okay. So we're following the actual rules.
Then Salem's good.
Yeah.
Salem's
the difference is because I'm letting each of you move, and then you can choose which action to take. Right. That's why you both have your own initiative.
Okay, then I'm just gonna move Salem.
Yeah, you can move him wherever you want.
To kind of, well, actually no. I'm gonna keep him where he is. I'm done. Yeah, Salem's cool. He's just gonna chill.
Salem is cool, that's for sure. All right, then I will end Salem's turn. And you hear, getting farther away, you hear another skeleton, like, sort of making its way, and it sort of stops, right? And you have not been too far north, but you know that the other hallway sort of terminates. So this skeleton may have explored as far as it can get before it turns around and heads the other direction. Does its thing. All right. So, Glory, as you're standing there, you see a skeleton. Sort of creep around the corner, and it's looking for you, right? So you can't catch it surprised, but it does flip to see you, and immediately raises its bow. So it's found, and you hear it, call out.
She's down here, brothers.
And it misses. So you see this arrow just fly right past you. Does no damage. You feel a little hope. That ends its turn. Tempe. Tempe.
I would like to move
To buy a vowel.
I don't know if that's far enough.
5,
too
10,
far?
15, 20, 25. You have 5 more feet if you want it.
Now I'll just target the skeleton, which I believe I have because there's a red box and arrows pointing at it.
If you right-click it, you'll know it's targeted because your dice color will be on top of it, right? So it looks like it is targeted by you and by Tyros.
Stay aimed at the skeleton. There.
Awesome.
I don't see any dice.
You mean you don't see any dice where? Oh, so so using the HUD, right? Make sure that you're clicked, and then at the bottom it'll say you're going to use your longbow, right? Just click the picture of the longbow.
Okay.
Oh, unfortunately, it's a pretty severe miss. Although you have a +10. That's insane.
How did that happen?
Holy smokes. Yeah, you have a bunch of buffs. You have a +5, a +3, and a +2 somehow, which is awesome. All right, so you're out of movement and you've taken your action. So I guess it is time to end your turn. You hear the clock going click, clack, click, clack. Stefanos, you are firmly in the room, surrounded by blood. You have 25 feet of movement left if you want to move. No one on the party has taken a hit other than Alexandria, but time was reversed. Ahead of you, you see one skeleton, and you know that a couple have at least headed down the stairs.
Yep. I'm going to move through here to get line of sight.
Perfect. And then something just... Glory, stop rolling for initiative, please.
And then use my crossbow to target the skeleton.
Awesome. And you do hit the skeleton, I believe. Wait a minute. You didn't target You didn't target.
Oh.
Oh no, I got hit.
Wait, what?
Wait, how did you get hit? I don't see that you got hit.
I don't know, I got a pop-up window that says Tyros is hit by a crossbow light and can use a reaction.
Oh, yeah, it didn't roll any damage on you.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll give you a do-over on this because you're learning it. Right-click the skeleton.
Right-click. Uh-huh.
And then choose the little target, which is like the little circles. I think there's 3 circles. Yeah, 3 circles. And now roll. Re-click yourself and then roll the dice. And you still hit. and you do 6 points of damage. So the skeleton does take some damage. So there you go. Now you've learned how to do it.
Okay. And I think I'm just going to stay here and end
Awesome.
my turn.
Perfect. So, Glory, way off in the distance, you hear some splashing. And this brings us to Glory. Mano a mano, or mano to bones.
Originally, I was going to use one with shadows, which is
It's a great television show. Sorry, that's not one. That's what we do in the shadows. Sorry.
But it's when you're in an area of dim light or darkness, you can use your action to become invisible until you move or take an action or a reaction. But since this guy has found me, I'm going to end you. I'm going to use my damn it, where is it? My bone staff.
All right, don't forget to right-click the skeleton and target it.
Right-click, but
Well, you do have it. It's the 2 fingers.
I know I'm doing that, but it's okay. Can I drag and drop? No, I can't.
Nope, you have to right-click and target. Or I think there might be a...
Got it.
Okay. Yeah, there might be also a key you can hold down to do it. I can't remember.
Okay, and I'm gonna bone staff him.
Sounds wrong, but okay.
What? So I have to walk towards him? Alright, so then I'll walk.
Yeah, you have to move close enough to hit him. You're out of range.
Get a little closer.
There you go.
And there.
Oh, nice solid hit. Your bone staff comes down upon his bone, right? Which is slightly ironic. And you see bits and pieces of this the skeleton just fly onto the floor and just like pools of blood just burst, right? It's like a scene out of Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Yeah, but how does a skeleton bleed?
That's what I was about to ask.
Profusely. This isn't so much blood as it is marrow, right? It's bone marrow, right? Inside of the bones, right?
Then I'm gonna also take a step back.
If you take a step back, it gets an opportunity attack.
Alright. Then I'm just gonna...
Do you have a bonus action or anything? I don't think so.
Beacon Salem to remind everyone that shit's going down over here. And I'm gonna end my turn.
Perfect. So, down from that stairway, you guys hear how to phrase this. You hear this mighty, just horrifying roar as my interface completely stops responding and I can't do jack. Do I want to wait for it to become responsive? It's asking me. Give me 2 seconds. And I think I'm going to have to restart this. I'm going to have to refresh.
I reloaded.
Yeah, give me 1 second, guys.
Isn't it Alexandria's turn?
No, it is not.
It's in the combat tracker. It shows her after Glory.
Yeah, I see stuff that you don't see. And I was trying to make you see it, but see it logged me out. Give me 1 second. It was a glorious moment. Wrong
I'll
password.
take your word for it.
All right, let's do this again. I'm logged in. It's loading. Give me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. The cool thing is it doesn't kick you guys out when this happens to me. So that's a 1. That's 1 plus 1, right? Although this shouldn't happen at all. Did we have any problem with the Motley Few? Did we have any reloading that had to happen there?
I did. I had to reload a lot last time.
All right. I need to pop out the... There we go. All right. Back in business. The music's playing, whatever else. All right. So... Show to all. So, you hear this horrific roar coming from the... down those stairs, and now you sort of know what was going on. You had these skeletons were going to protect what seems to be their queen, their mummy queen. Things just got interesting. So she is now in the tracker. It is her turn. What in the heck? There's two of her somehow. Hold on. There we go.
I was wondering because I was able to see that mummy in the combat tracker for a while.
Oh, really? That sucks.
Yeah, that's how I was wondering.
So you guys see up these stairs comes a scary ass mummy queen. Right, and she doesn't say anything. Whoops. She doesn't say anything at first. But just gazes upon all of you. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, what next? So let me tell you. Let me tell you what next. Tyros, she looks straight at you. And casts command. Actually, no, she doesn't cast command. She casts guiding bolt. Wait, you have no available first level spell slots with which to cast guiding bolt. What? There we go. Cast spell. And alas, it misses Tyros, Salamandi, just barely. But you see the thing sort of fly towards you, and you know you're in for some hurt. Alexandria.
All right. Okay. Big decisions to be made here. Okay.
Whoever's having issues.
Wait, who's having issues?
What?
That was Salem telling Alexandria that Glory's having issues.
She is having issues. Of course, now you know you've got.
So it's not fair because when I play my character, everyone's like, "That's weird, Sarah." But then, like,
oh no,
what
I
do you want me to do?
I loved. No, by the way, I loved that you did the voice, right? And if you do it a couple more times, you'll get some inspiration. But what I was not expecting was I didn't expect it. So I was like, I thought this was just Curtis's computer talking to him again. That's what I really thought.
I thought you were talking to your dog.
But I do think it's awesome that you did it. All right, so
Hey.
Alexandria,
okay.
what's up?
Oh man. Okay. We're all right. As per usual, gonna full send it.
All right.
Charge on over to the skeleton. Just try to get the little guys out of the way. Okay. Cool.
All right.
And then I'm gonna take my second attack. It's not dead yet. Fine. I really wanna finish him off, so I'll use a bonus action. I don't think that did anything.
It says you did Fury of Blows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed.
But I missed, like a loser.
Yeah, you like the skeleton looks at you like loser.
Disappointing. Couldn't even dispatch one enemy. All right. I'm gonna avert my gaze from this mummy and hope for the best.
Ah, you know something of mummies.
I have a hunch. An owl, a bird hunch.
A bird hunch is a strong hunch. You are well served with your hunch. This skeleton brings its sword down upon you, though, and it does hit. And then there's a huge-ass delay for some reason. And there it is. Oh, you just barely get nicked. A couple of feathers, flutter from your wing. Alas.
Wait, question. It's giving me the option to use deflect missiles, which I like the software is, which I assume is just a mistake. It's a melee attack, not a.
So it's giving you what was that to do what?
It's telling me I can use deflect missiles as a reaction, but that doesn't apply, right? Because
that doesn't apply. Yeah, because it's not on missiles.
Well.
Yep. All right, and then that's the end of that, and ends the skeleton's turn. All right, Gloria, you already see in your periphery this guy's sort of heading towards you. So I need to measure to see how far he can go because I don't want to be unfair. All right, so it can go right to there, which is all it needs. So down the hall comes Skeletor here, within range, targets you with its sword. Hold on 1 second. Bloop bloop. Actions, features, attributes.
I got frozen again.
Did you?
Yeah.
Is that happening to anyone else?
Me too. Yeah,
It says the server is unresponsive.
And then it's asking me to install the app.
Yep.
To install the app?
Oh, there's an app.
What app is it asking you to install?
I just got totally.
I'm in an app now. I'm no longer in a browser.
Oh, that's a nice thing, by the way. So maybe they pushed an update during your crash? I don't know.
I'm in an app now. Awesome. I can't hear anything, but...
Well, it should... Click a character.
I am.
I've been holding off so that you can watch yourself get hit.
Oh, cool. Well, I can see now, so...
Alright, well there you go.
Go ahead.
Attack away. So hits you with the sword, and it is a...
I can use an attack roll. Gloria is hit by a short sword and can use a reaction, which is a hellish rebuke, because anytime a creature hurts me, I can essentially... What is it again? I forget.
You can react.
Anyways, I'm going to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can react with that. But why did it hit you? Why didn't it roll the damage? Oh, there's the damage. And then you do a hellish rebuke at it. Wow. And it is now that takes it near death. Do not like, I say.
I love it. I love this. I love Foundry so much more. Oh my god.
Oh, was it the animations?
No, like it can, like it offers me a solution to my problem.
Yeah, it does. It's some automation. Now, I think it also offers things that you shouldn't be able to do sometimes, like they did with David. But we just have to, learn the game together. Cool. So we are at the bottom of the round. I need you all to roll for initiative. As soon as we get Tempe's roll, I'll start the next round.
But I did roll.
It says you did not.
You
should just be able to click your dice in that little combat tracker thingy.
I just pushed roll.
You should. Wow, that's a lot of dice.
Again, roll.
So what are you rolling? Like, you need to roll initiative. So click the dice in the combat tracker.
Combat tracker. Oh yeah, I was in the chat.
Yeah, you were just rolling dice for fun. But you did get a solid roll. I'm going to start combat, or next round. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to start next round. There it is. Salem.
I'm going to drop.
What's that?
I'm going to drop. I got other stuff to do, guys.
All right, well, yeah, we were going to end at noon, but yeah, you can, we'll skip your turn.
If it gets to me, just shoot the mummy.
All right, sounds good, man.
All right, thank you.
All right, Salem, you're up.
I'm just gonna chill and remind everyone that, hey, I know that there's this giant mummy over here. I'm letting Glory know, but like, you can't see me. But just remember, Glory's on her own, that's all. And my turn is over.
All right, your turn is over. Next, whatever, here we go. Skeleton is up. It went down to protect the queen. The queen is now out, so it runs to her left. Flips around. Does not have line of sight with anyone other than Dinjarin. So raises its bow. And misses Dinjarin by quite a ways. Ends its turn. Up next was Glory.
Alright, so I'm going to attack the skeleton. It doesn't have its name with my
yeah, they're just all skeletons.
Where's my items? There they are. I'm gonna do it with my wait, where did my bone staff again?
And make sure you right click and target whoever you're hitting.
I am targeted, aren't I?
Perfect. Yeah,
No.
unless you're changing targets, yeah. Ooh, and you also critted. That should be the end of this guy. So your bone staff comes down upon his skull, and just bits of skull fly everywhere. And the corpse of this.
Wait, it says unconscious.
Yeah,
it
that
says
means
unconscious is.
that means dead. An unconscious foe is dead.
Okay. Okay.
But also, that turns into a pile of loot now. So if you double click that skull, it's lootable. Not on this turn, but on your next turn. You have all of your movement left if you want to move, but you will be you're in
my movement is very. I look over after destroying my enemy to my enemy's friend, and I say, oh, "Are you next?" And my turn ends.
Cool. You even beat the clock. Look at that. All right. So you hear more shuffling in the hallway. You know, and in your periphery, you see another skeleton emerge. This brings us to Tempe. Tempe said he was going to shoot something. He doesn't have line of sight, does he? No. So he takes a few steps forward to about here. And then targets and attacks with his bow. And hits the mummy for 3 points of damage. And barely puts a dent in her. And ends his turn. Did I play that like he suggested? I think I did.
Yep.
5,
Does he have a bonus
10,
action?
15. Oh, he does. Hold on a second.
He actually gets a second attack when he attacks at the level he's at. So
Yeah,
he
that's
can
right.
actually
I forgot that.
second attack.
He would have remembered that. I forgot that, though. All right, so he gets a second attack. How much movement does he have left? 5, 10, 15. So he sort of sidesteps. Targets this dude. And then fires the bow. And it does hit.
Love these animations.
So there you go. So yeah, he's brought the health down on 2 different characters. All right, now I go back to the skeleton, already in progress. If I can find him. There it is. All right. So the skeleton, man, does not have line of sight to glory. So alas, its turn is ended. Stephanos, you're hugging up against the wall there.
Yep. Let's see.
And I can help you if you explain to me what you're trying to do.
Oh, I'm going to... Oh, wait. See, I can't... The reason I accidentally hit Alexandria, for some reason, my color on my map is all grayed out, and I can't see Alexandria. I can see her now, but I'm gonna move.
Yeah, I'm looking to see, do you have dark vision?
I do. But...
So it should be gray. It should be grayscale then for you, right?
It is in grayscale, yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna move.
You can always tell people on max because they inadvertently they have a hard time moving their characters. Just drive with your arrows. It's easier. And again, you can do angles by pushing 2 arrows at the same time.
Oops. Sorry, I'm trying to use my arrows, but I'm not moving.
Are
I think you have to select your character.
Yeah, select your character again.
Okay.
Now try.
Select. Yeah, it's not.
Weird. Maybe you're stuck on the wall. Let me try to pull you off. Is that where you're trying to go?
Yes.
Okay, that's 5, 10. You have 10 more feet left. Just so you know.
Move 1 more to the right, so I have range of sight.
Okay, right there.
Yeah. And I'm gonna attack this mummy.
All right, so right click and target. All right, and you missed the mummy, sadly, with your crossbow. And you're out of movement, so you're just sort of hanging tight. You do, however, see that she looks towards you.
Yes,
So you got to end your turn?
Yep.
All right, so Sarah, down the hall, you hear what appears to be. It sounds like a giant lobster sort of crawling its way, and it emerges from the doors. Enter the Chul. That ends its turn. Another skeleton comes up the stairs to protect the queen. Pops around the corner, sees Stephanos, targets Stephanos.
Oh no.
Oh no indeed. I gotta move the dead skeleton. Oh, there it is, okay. With its... It has to change to the build-up. It has to be... Hold on 1 second. Ah. Is this the dead skeleton? No, I gotta move him so I can touch him. Hold on. There we go. Yeah. The token stacking is a little weird. Alright, there's that. And that goes away. And this goes up to here. And this goes up to here. And there it is. And that goes here. Alrighty. Now I'm gonna move him back to where he was. And targeted you, and he attacks you with the short sword. And he hits, and he does some damage. He does a decent amount of damage. He does 16 points on you. And that ends his turn. This brings us to Tyros.
Tyros, who has an absolute hatred towards mummies right now.
You have mummy issues?
Here I do have mummy issues. Sorry, can I reverse that move? I had a glitch with the.
Yeah, you're right here, right?
Yeah. Let me just use the keyboard. Alright, so that puts me in a line of sight with the mummy. Target the mummy. Because the mummy hasn't moved yet. I've got advantage. What? Oh, okay. I've got a quick advantage, but it's not lighting up for me.
It's not?
No. It is when I hover on it, but then as soon as I move away from it, it goes away.
You know, mine's doing the same thing. It's like we may have an issue here.
Yeah, because I should have advantage on the mummy because she hasn't moved yet. But
because here's the deal: if you roll it and if it misses, then I'll let you roll again.
Okay, I'm going to use my firebolt on the mummy.
And it hits, so no need to even re-roll.
And I will be also using... oh, I can't use sneak attack on that one. Oh, actually, no, because I had advantage, I'm able to use sneak attack on that.
Okay, sneak attack away.
So an additional 5.
Additional 5. So yeah, you're chiseling away. You know, you're still disappointed at the amount of damage that she's, or the amount of health she has left. But yeah, you're on your way.
The mummy should be on fire as well.
Because of...
Now, I don't know if that causes any extra damage or not. A flammable object hit by the spell ignites if it isn't being worn or carried, and I would assume a mummy is a flammable object.
It is. So it's
no, wait a minute. Sorry, that's if I want to create light, so I could fire my firebolt into some wood and light up a room. Okay, never mind.
Okay, never mind. I was getting ready to light her up, so you're lucky.
With that, I'm going to move back and take a bit of cover behind Tyros and not face the mummy.
Yeah, he's a good. Tyros is a good cushion, I guess, between you.
Sorry, Teppy, I mean.
All right, so since we're already here, the skeleton brings its short sword down upon Alexandria and hits it solid. So this time it's a little more solid of a hit than last time. And doing some solid damage, and 7 points of damage to Alexandria. So, you know, she's not quite half dead, but you know she's feeling some pain, but not near as much pain as the skeleton in front of her. This brings us to Dinjarin. Dinjarin, you're up. you see the skeletons are finally making some progress.
All right, so I'm going to move to about like right here.
Okay.
Then I am going to target the mummy.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on it. Okay, see, it's not letting me do it again.
I don't understand.
I don't either. It's not letting me cast anything.
Hold on. Let me look at your character. Make sure that you have rights to your character. I think you do. Yeah, you're the owner.
Do you have spell slots open?
It says I have 4 out of 4.
No, that means you've used 4 out of 4.
Oh, okay. Oh, that is not. That is a horrible interface. Okay, then I'm gonna go. I guess maybe. Is that about 10 feet away from that? No, I wanted to be over here though, not there. Oh, I guess I can't go into that because that's a wall.
So are you trying to get? Where are you trying to get to?
I'm trying to get to the. From my perspective, it's like right neck. But I wanted to be like a little bit
like that,
like right next to Alexandria, but that's fine.
Oops,
then
sorry, I accidentally moved. Wait, I just accidentally moved you way over there. Sorry. There you go. That's what you were looking for, right?
Is that the skeleton?
That's the skeleton.
No, it's this one. Target, and then I'm gonna hit with the mall.
No, you're taking it to the mall? It'll love that.
Okay, but that target shouldn't be. Oh, you know why? Because I guess I still have the mummy targeted. How do you untarget? I thought
you untarget by untargeting, like select it, like right click and unclick it. There you go.
Oh.
Ooh, crit. And just your maul just smashes this thing. Bits of bone fly about. The red bone marrow covers the floor. See what I did there? And then that thing turns into a lootable object as well.
Okay, and then with that, I'm going to move to right there. I want to target. Oh, hold on, my head's in the way. I think that's targeted now.
What's targeted?
Target that guy, and because I made an attack, I get a second attack, and I am going to use my spike chain on this dude.
All right. Seems fair, and you do hit with your spike chain.
And so now he needs to.
He's dead.
Die. So that ends my turn.
Yeah. So you're left with a bunch of loot piles. This brings us to Alexandria, surrounded by dead bodies, and
just like I like
a mummy.
All right. I've never been one to shy away from.
That's true. You have not ever been one to shy away from a fight. See if she ends it. You do hit the money, yeah. For 8 points of damage.
Right. Gonna go again. Oh, I can click the thing.
I have a hard time even seeing the numbers on yours. Wow.
Yeah.
So whatever you did just decimated this mummy, right? So like this mummy queen is hurting for sure. But she's biding her time.
Even though historically this hasn't worked out for me, I'm gonna.
I think you said you're going to use a key point.
Stunning strike. No, yeah, the mummy succeeds. Okay. Well, Can't win them all. And by all, I mean any.
Oh, the Sunny Strike, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Targets Glory, short sword, trying to get a couple blows in before she kills him on her next turn. Does crit on Glory. Does 11 solid points of damage. So yeah, Glory, you have the upper hand right now, but you are suddenly very much hurt. Ends its turn. This brings us back to the mummy. So sadly.
Wait, why don't I get to do a Hellish Rebuke?
Hellish Rebuke? I don't think it's every time you get hit. I think it's X number of times, probably for long rest. So check it out.
It may only be once per round. Reactions only happen once per round.
Oh, got it. Cool, thanks.
Yeah. So this mummy, David, you're off to the distance, and you know what's happening here. Like you know what's up with what's going to happen next because you've experienced this. This mummy targets Melan with its rotting fist. Wait a minute. It says it targets 25 feet away. Oh. Untarget. Sorry, my bad. There we go. It's very hard. I think I need to set up the game so it untargets everyone every time we take your turn. When you're done, it untargets for you. Then you have to retarget every turn. So let's try this again.
Yeah, I think that would be better.
Rotting Fist. Does it hit? Ah! Damn it. Because look what would have happened. It would have been bad. So, unfortunately, you do not have to worry about the mummy's curse right now. So we are at the end of this round. Did you want to end here or finish this last monster? It's up to you guys. We won't be able to finish the battle to the south for sure, but like this one is potential.
I can finish this one.
All right. In that case, I need everybody to roll for initiative. I'm going to reset them and go from there.
I was going to say. Hey Thomas, by the way, I noticed the HUD doesn't actually. It has spells that I don't even have like prepped as the spells that I can use for some reason.
Okay, there's a setting, so I didn't want to enable it yet, but it'll only from now on after this game show you prepared spells.
Okay.
But I was easing into all of the settings, right? I didn't want to like hide everything from people. All right.
Well, I mean, it's showing spells that I don't even have though. That's
it shouldn't. All right, I'm going to start the next round. Oh, Glory, it is your lucky day. You are up first. Glory, are you with us?
Yeah, I was just talking to myself. So, all right, what I'm gonna. So I want to ask a question first. Or wait, are we going to scheme right now, or are we diving right in?
You guys might want to scheme just for like 2 minutes or so.
Okay. So my plan right now is to kill this dude, take a step back, and I have the ability to like be one with the shadows, and I'm hoping that I can do that before all the other guys come find me. Because hopefully they'll go past me and I can attack them from behind. So that's my plan. I don't know if that plan's gonna work. It's my plan. I don't know about you guys.
Dinjarin I'm just gonna kill. Anything that's in front of me that's against me, I'm gonna kill. That's pretty much what I'm doing.
I heard this kind of light whispering from Salem in the alley or in the hallway there, something along the lines that Gloria is going to try and hide, and there's some creatures, and that's about as far as he heard.
Got it. Okay, cool. I'm going to use my bone staff on this dude.
All right.
Kill him. Dead. Awesome.
Dead.
And then my question is does the Squid Man and other skeletons know where I am?
You have no way of knowing that.
Don't. Okay.
Yeah, but I will turn that other body
Well,
into a
I do
little
know
object.
that if they see me.
Well, I mean, okay, let me rephrase that. They can, yes, everyone in the hallway can see you,
Okay.
right? Because you're sort of in that little space. Honestly, connecting to the server because something's going on. Anyway, the skeleton along the hall wall, the south wall, probably can't see you, right? If so, it just sees like your toes. But he sees 2 dead bodies, and he's seen your weapon flying into the hallway. So, yeah.
Wow. Then, all right. So then, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get as far away from them as possible.
All right, that's your 30 then, right?
Oh, I can't go in. That's it.
Well, hold on. Let's see. You were here. Let me see. Let me measure it. Hold on.
Oh, that's 40 feet. I thought
yeah. You have to move back, actually. There you go. That's as far as you can get. I'll move it for you. Or you got it. Never mind.
Okay.
Here, this is
All
where
right,
you
cool.
can be.
Well, then, while I'm running, I'm going to do something later.
Okay.
And I'm gonna end.
All right, this brings us to Tempe. My gut tells me he has line of sight if he moves right here. And then he longbows the mummy. It's a 7. He hits. And he gets a second hit, right? A second shot.
Yep.
Takes a second shot. Hits with an 11. And does 6 more points of damage. So yeah, so like you can feel like the bandages are starting to unravel. You know, bits of the mummy are starting to fall. You're seeing sort of sand like drip out. And that ends Tempe's turn. Salem?
Just chilling.
Skeleton
Is that skeleton in 20 feet of me?
No, that skeleton's dead.
No, the one that just highlighted as if it's his turn.
You know what? I forgot that skeleton was alive. So that skeleton is within 20 feet of you, so it needs to roll a wisdom.
Wisdom saving has to make 18.
That is so high, man. That's not fair.
I didn't make the helmet.
I know I did.
think it's fair.
All right, so that skeleton is now frightened.
So it has a disadvantage on any attack rolls, as well as any ability saves.
All right. So now it's frightened. It can't move any closer to you, but it can do its thing, which I believe is. Now I need to roll with disadvantage. I want to figure out why this is. Let me just do it with the character sheet. And short sword. Now I should be able to roll. Do I click disadvantage? If I click this, it should ask me if I want to roll with disadvantage. It does not. Oh, it did it for me because it was frightened. And it misses Stefanos badly. All right, so it automatically did do the disadvantage, and that ends its turn. Milan. I'm sorry, Alexandria. Give a hoot.
Hoo-hoo. Hoo-hoo. Get this done.
She just wants this mummy gone. And badly misses. Does not even come close. One would say embarrassing. Second attack does hit. We see the dagger come down upon the mummy's head. Solid 15 of damage. I'm sorry, solid 10 of damage. And you gonna try your magic again? Your,
Yeah, I mean, I really want it to work. I feel like that would be super fun. Yeah.
So you finally do connect with your Fury Blow. You hit the
Cool.
mummy. Holy crap, 11 points of damage.
Alright, please kill it before it necrotizes me on its next turn.
The mummy just wants one more turn. It just needs one more turn. Its rotting fists, has Alexandria written all over it. Tyros is trying to find any angle where he's got line of sight, but he knows he is now within range of rotting fist.
I already have it once.
Yeah, you're already cursed, right?
Okay, it's so close to that.
Alright, I will be
Come on, miss.
unleashing Firebolt.
Ah! Crap. You son of a gun.
Flash of light, and the mummy just disintegrates in a firebolt.
You guys, I didn't even get to cast Whirlwind of Sand. Come on, man. Turning her into a loot pile. So, Tyros, you did the killing blow. Wait a minute. We still have a skeleton alive, right?
We do, yeah. And I'm going to use my bonus action and use my dagger. I need to target the skeleton first. My bonus action, using my dagger, thrusting it into the skeleton. And with that, I will use disengage.
Which means he doesn't get an opportunity.
Doesn't get an opportunity. And end my turn.
All right,
I love this
Dinjarin.
integrated conflict. This is awesome.
Once you learn it, it's a lot faster, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So with that, I'm gonna move over to this guy. Target him, and I'm gonna attack him with my.
It looks like you have two targeted. So do you still have the dead person targeted? One second. Let me move him just for a second. I'm gonna move this dead person out of the way.
Okay. So I can't. Once the characters die, I don't see any of them.
Oh, okay.
On the screen anymore.
You see the skull though, right? You guys see the skulls?
No.
No skulls. Oh, there it is now.
Okay, there they go.
All right.
Okay, I'm attacking.
Noted.
Oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. There we go.
Dead.
That is dead.
Jesus, you guys suck. Just saying. All right, so that one's dead. Let me turn it into a loot pile. So when I kept saying, let me turn it into a loot pile, you guys had no idea what I was talking about.
Nope.
All right, so you guys have, you have ended part of the battle. So this battle to the north has ended, and there's piles of loot all around. The mummy I would reserve for Tyrosis. He did the killing blow. So double click, move to each of you move to a skeleton and just double click and tell me what happens. We've never done this before.
So I don't see the loot for the skeleton I just killed. I don't see a skull.
The purple one?
Yeah, I see the frightened swirlies, but I don't see anything else.
Interesting.
We're still in combat, so we can't move.
Oh, hold on. Let me turn on free movement for a second. Oh yeah, we have to finish combat. My bad. You can't loot yet. All right. The skeleton makes its way down the hall. giving chase to Glory. Does it have line of sight to Glory? It does.
By the way, before you do that, I have Hellish Rebuke. I'm sorry. I have Dark One's Blessing. So anytime I reduce a hostile creature to 0 hit points, I gain 11 temp hit points. So I need to healed 11 points.
So you've killed 2, so you get 22 points.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So that means you now have. Wait, hold on. Wait. Oh crap. Control Z. So you have 22 points. So that'd be 42. So you're way uninjured. You have actually more than your normal health. But let's make quick work of that by having this guy hit you with a short sword. I mean, with his longbow. Give me 2 shakes. Short bow. Meat. Short bow coming in. And kablooey kablow, as they say in those cartoons. So it missed you. You got very lucky, and it's out of range, so it can't go any farther. Its friend, on the other hand, comes down. Oops, it's supposed to be right here. Targets you. Does the same thing. Same verse.
You should be able to see all of the skeletons and everything do their rolls, but none of that's coming up anymore for me.
Okay, that's my third note I've taken down. So things are hidden, right? So, what was the other one? It was show rolls. Curtis, you had one. It was
disengage. Or sorry, not disengage. To take off the targeting.
Oh, turn off targeting. Thank you. That's it. Okay, got it. And so it did, drop you about 5 hit points, right? So you lost a couple of your bonus, and then you're down about 2. Still, you've come out pretty far ahead. Clambering down this hall. Let me see how far I can go. Go. Clambering down this hall, you see the Chool sort of making its way, and it has, unfortunately, no way to get to you. But you hear it making some horrible sound. You hear like clack 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 of its claws. Brings us to Stephanos. Stephanos, there is nothing to kill. But you are within range of that dead skeleton if you want to loot it. So you should be able to double click it. And tell me if it opens up a window.
This one?
The one with the fear around it.
The fear. So I don't actually... I don't see one there.
Oh, okay, hold on. Uninvisible it.
There it is.
Now try and double click it. Then Jaron, you should be able to double click it too.
It says it's an error saying lacks permission to update token when I double click that skeleton.
Item piles. Alright. Can anyone see it now? How about this? We'll just I don't know if I can just update. So I just split currency 6 ways. Or bone fragment. What if I drop on? Oh man. Open sheet. What happened?
He came back to life.
Oh, that's not. Okay, I gotta figure out how to make this different.
But
We're gonna ignore
way,
you guys. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you meant for this to happen, but if you roll over the enemies in the combat tracker, you can see how much health they have left on the bar around them.
Oh.
I'm not sure if you wanted us to be able to see that or not, but
Yeah, probably not. So he's now. I gotta turn. He's a loot pile. I gotta turn him back into a person, so that he can be dead. And he has 0 hit points. Well, I'll give him 10 back, and then I'm gonna give him 0. And now I give him 0. Now he should be re-deaded. All right, we'll worry about turning him in. We'll worry about loot piles later. The thing to keep in mind, Tyros, is that the queen was carrying a scroll of remove curse.
Yeah, I'm going to make a note of that.
Yeah. So
How do
I will.
open up my
Go ahead.
hub again.
You select a character and then the two crossed swords. So we can loot on the next time we play. If you guys want to start making your way down towards glory, you can do that. Otherwise, we can end now and pick up the next round. It's up to you. What say you?
I gotta go.
I have to go. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think this is a good.
I thought so too. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't cut you guys off. We are at the end. We will start by rolling initiative and looting. I'll figure out how to loot these things. Right? I don't know why this did not work. If anyone gets bored later today and wants to test out how to make this damn thing work, I'm happy to pop back on. It's hard to do by yourself. So, on that note, I guess all that's left to say is, until the next time on the Smite Force Chronicles. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
This was awesome.
Bye, all.